Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. As promised this week, we're going to take a little bit of a detour. No product opening this week, but let's talk grading. Let's learn about grading. Everything you want to know about grading is here this week, and a brand new CSG Revel to boot as examples. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel, youtube.com/ZBreaks. Referee Braden Toll here. Hope you guys had a good week this week. It's been a busy week as we are heading in here in the holiday season, heading towards Christmas very, very quickly. So I am back on the road coming up this weekend, actually, this Sunday from suburban Chicago, Tinley Park, Illinois. My debut for Warrior Wrestling coming up on Sunday. A company I've been wanting to work with for a long time, Warrior Wrestling. Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Tickets available. Join me. And then 1 week from Saturday night in Louisville, the return of the IPWF, the Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation, as we present Throwback Throwdown 2, presented by Pabst Blue Ribbon on Impact Plus and Fight TV. Get your tickets or join us. Impact Plus, Impact Insiders YouTube, and Fight TV. Join us for that on December the 18th. And then that'll do it for me for 2021. All roads to Dallas. Hard to Kill. January the 8th from the factory in Dallas. Haven't been there in a couple of years. It'll be good to be back deep in the heart of Texas. Make your plans to join us. Get your tickets and pay-per-view and Fight TV for that. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk grading. So for this week, we're going to talk about grading. I get a lot of questions, and it's not just from people here on social media or people on the channel in the comments asking. We get people that come into the shop that talk about grading. So I have a little bit that we talk about with that for people that come in and have questions about grading. They've never graded anything before. They're interested in getting into it, but they're kind of scared of getting into it. I had those feelings myself. So I wanted to pass along some knowledge, and let's just talk about grading for a little bit. So graded cards are a huge part of the hobby, just as much as they are ungraded cards to some extent. And so I have a big slab collection now. I'm well over 100 graded cards that I'm carrying in my personal collection. And I've got probably another 100 out easy right now. So it's just stuff I've been doing over time. This is the way I wanted to take my personal collection. Don't feel obligated that you have to do the same. But to each their own. So for those who want to know about grading, here we go for this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Buy my merch, ZebraBreaksMerch.com. Support the channel. So, all right. So basically, and we'll start by this. We'll talk about basically grading is basically where a card, and I will say this up front, it is subjective, basically. No matter what company you decide you're sending the cards to, it is a human that is making the decisions on this. So it is subjective. And that's probably the most unfortunate part of it, that it is subjective. So you send a card in that you want to keep. Hey, I want to get this graded, because graded cards, especially in terms of resale and or long-term holding, if you're going to hold one in your personal collection or your PC, graded cards absolutely carry more value than ungraded cards in most cases. There's always an exception to the rule. All right. So having said that, first of all, let's start with what do the grading companies score on? So we're going to take a look here on my screen here. Here we go. The grading companies score on basically, four being autographs, but 5 different things if you're having an autograph. So the first is, and my screen did not translate this over well, centering the width of the border. Ideally, the border sizing should be equal on all 4 sides, left, right, top, bottom. Sometimes judging the center won't be as simple as looking for equal spaced borders. That happens a lot with Chrome cards. A lot of the newer modern cards have that problem. So the bottom line is that the card should feel balanced. If it's lopsided, it means the centering's off. And when you're getting cards graded between 8, 9, or 9 and 10, small differences mean a lot in that aspect. So I'll show you guys what I use here in a little bit. So that's 1. 2, corners. This is the most important and most scrutinized part of the card. A card with 4 sharp corners can alleviate other concerns, especially on your older cards and your vintage cards. So when you're looking at something, look at your corners first, and then look at the back of the card. If a corner shows any imperfections, You know, there could be other issues. Sometimes the ink, the foil can create illusions of a weak corner, so be sure to check the back. Always look at the back of your cards. If a corner or two is an eyesore to look at, you're probably looking at a card that'll grade under an 8.5. Slight corner imperfections, such as barely visible white, might be the difference between BGS or PSA 9, 9.5, but can also result in no change. That's where the subjectivity of grading comes in. So corners, 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 corners. It is the first thing I look at when I'm looking at a card that I'm potentially going to send away. And even I'm wrong. I'm not the best at this, and I'll explain what I do in my process here in a little bit. 2, the edges are absolutely important. Some brands are notoriously terrible with edges, cards with dark and black borders. So they look at the back for this too. The edges should be sharp. The color should be constant. You know, dings, dents, subtle discolorations, as with the corners. Barely visible white isn't the end of the world. Absolutely agree with that. By the way, guys, a lot of these notes I'm taking are from Cardboard Connection. I'll put a link for this in the description of the video if you guys want to read this a little more. I'm just going to kind of hit some high spots here with this, all right? Surface. The surface is the condition of the cardboard as a whole. Now, this is where, especially in the modern era, it varies a lot with this. It talks about glossy cards such as Bowman Chrome. It's not glossy, it's actually a chromium that's on there. Surface scratches are a big issue with that. And sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. You know, sometimes it takes, like, you know, a magnifying glass to find surface scratches, because that's what these cards go through when you send them in to be graded, okay? Faded autographs on the surface, not big concern in terms of the modern era, at least. Foil stock cards are prone to small pieces of the foil coming off, leaving white specks on the card. The best example I can give of that would have been, look at Gold Label from this year. A lot of the black was coming off. That's surface issues out the Yahoo. I could not send any of those in to be graded. None of them were going to get a good grade at all. With older cards, creases and moisture damage, that's going into your vintage realm. And then it talks about, you know, 80s cards and stuff like that. And then part 5, autographs. The autographs get a separate grade that is not an overall part of the card grade. The autograph grade has nothing to do with the grade given to the card itself. That all has to do with the autograph in terms of where it's placed, the placement, even the slightest thing of a pen being picked up off the card and then put back down. All of that plays into it, okay? So, and I'll show you as a quick example in my CSG. If you look here at my CSG, and let me find it. Here you go. So just to show you, and we'll reveal this now just because here. So this is from 2020 Donruss. If you were here with the video for 2020 Donruss, this is my Trey Sermon, the Rookies Auto to 299. It's got the autograph grade right there for 10. Some companies will put it on the front, like PSA is on the front. And then Beckett's is on the front as well. CSG is one of the few that actually put it on the back. So, but it is a separate grade from the other cards, okay? All right. So now that we've kind of gone over basically what is the card graded for, let's go into some definitions of basically what like a PSA 9, PSA 8 would be. I personally, when I'm sending cards in, I shoot for a PSA 9. I'm not a 10 or bust, or it's not, or I'm wasting my time with it. That to me is an unrealistic way of looking things. If I can get 9s back, I'm good. 9.5 from CSG, absolutely, because of the way they grade. And I'll go into that a little later on as well. So I'm using the PSA as the example, or BGS, whatever you want to call it. You know, whichever one, take your pick here. It's basically the same terminology, or it should be, per company. Now that has changed a little bit. PSA has gone through a run here, especially once they got overloaded with cards in 2020 via the pandemic. They were getting on average 2 million cards a month. They could not get them done anywhere fast enough. So having said that, a lot of people have talked about the inconsistencies that PSA has had, where there are cards that should have been graded 10 that were not graded 10, and cards that were graded 10 that had no right to be given a 10. That's where the subjectivity comes into it when it comes to grading. The same can be said for CSG, same can be said for Beckett, same can be said for SGC as well. That's just where the subjectivity comes into it. So this is basically just kind of the standard that should be, or we hope is applied to this, okay? So we're going to go back over here. And it's great. So what's going to define a PSA 9? In theory, a PSA 9 is what they call as mint. PSA 10 is gem mint, or a 10 is a gem mint, or pristine sometimes is what it's called, depending on the company terminology. PSA 9, or a mint card, will be a nearly perfect card, looks as clean and sharp as the day it was printed. No surface flaws, bends, creases, or stains on the front or back. The picture will be centered, so you're centering within the borders of a 55 to 45 ratio, or better all around, and the corners and edges will be sharp and clean like a new business card. Now, in a minute, I'll show you about the 55-45 concept, okay? And I'll show you the tool that I use to look for centering, okay? PSA 8, what is defined as near mint to mint, will appear mint to the naked eye, but it may have a little less centering, a little bit of wear, maybe on the edges, or, on a corner or two. A near mint to mint card should have no surface flaws, bends, creases, or stains on the front or back, and the centering is no worse than 60-40 all around. Okay? So now I'll show you guys what I use, and I will pull it out here. I bought this online. I've heard good things about this. I use, basically, let me get those out of the way here. Nope, not my vaccination card. I use what's called the center tool. And basically, I use the even and the odd numbers. And over here, I have and actually, no, let's see if I can get it I should have pulled this out earlier. Just to show you guys. There's a guide that comes with it right here. And it says, based on the numbers, right, left, and then top to bottom. So 2, 1, or in this case, 2. So if a card is showing 2, 2, it's a 50-50. So if it's bold, it's going to be 60-40 or better. So you're looking PSA 8 or better. So that's what I look at, and as on the back, on the side of it here, it has the black edges that I line the card up with, and I find how I'm showing that it's going to be centered up, and then I use that to judge my centering on my cards. So that's where 55 and 60-40 and all that come into play, those numbers that I mentioned a minute ago, okay? So that's part B with it when it comes into the centering. So there's what your definitions are in terms of what is defined as mint and near mint, okay? Now the last part, and you're not going to see this a whole lot with modern cards. If you are buying ungraded cards on the open market and you get some of these next part back, then there's a problem. These are what we call qualifiers. Now this will show you if a card has been altered with in any type of way. PSA does a lot of this. It goes onto the label, and in some cases the grading companies will not grade it, or they could say it's been altered too much for them to even decide that they even are going to grade a card. So you don't run into this a lot in terms of the modern or the high-end modern or anything in the modern era. A lot of this will normally apply if you're going into your vintage, because that's where you start seeing a lot of this, okay? So we have what's called qualifiers. It's a card with substantial flaws, may also receive a qualifier along with their numerical grade. It's a flaw that typically results in the value being of at least 2 grades lower. So example, PSA 8 OC, which means off center, would have a similar value to a PSA 6. Now that's also subjective, but you get the point. These are the normal types of qualifiers here that you would normally see when you're grading cards. OC for off center, ST for staining, so big staining. Once again, this is where you get a lot of this with vintage. Print defect or out of focus, that's another, just a printing issue. Marks, pen, pencil, ink, and goes beyond, that's not talking about autographs. Miscut, and that's where you can get that's where sometimes you start seeing that in your vintage cards, and even in some of your modern cards, if people have tried to alter it to get it to a point where it could get like a PSA 10 or a 10 through any company, that's where you're going to have that at. Trimmed, which is maybe slightly or grossly cut to improve appearance. And then authentic. It says the card is original, but has been altered, repaired, or otherwise enhanced. Now that's a whole different topic for a whole nother video down the line. We're not going to talk about that, but I have seen articles and stuff where cards are altered or otherwise enhanced to try to get a better grade, okay? So having said that, let's come back. So that is kind of roughly about a 10-minute overview of grading. Now, The next part I'm going to show you for this here is we also have, so when trying to get my words together here, here's how the process goes for grading, okay? Here's how we do this. I'm trying to get out of this so I can pull up my internet browser here to show you. Here, let me get out of my notes from what we just talked about. So there are 4 what I qualify, in my opinion. Once again, this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. There are 4 companies basically that are basically your grading companies that you can send to, okay? So what you're looking at here is there's PSA, which is number 1. A lot of people consider PSA to be the gold standard in terms of, when it comes to resale values and everything. It's PSA 10 is as good as it gets. That is also subjective, but that is the majority opinion. I will say that. You have Beckett, which is for a lot of times seem to be the number 2 behind it. I've sent cards to both PSA and Beckett for grading appropriately. CSG, as you can see here are all my shipments. What I got 2, 4, 6. I got 7 here. I've got 4 of them back. I have my bulk that got scanned in August that's being put together right now, and I got 2 more bulks after that going through. I've done a lot, and some of this is not for me. There's a few other people that have given me cards to send in to be graded. And then the last is what we call the black bow tie, SGC. I have all these. I have at least 1 slab from all these companies in my possession currently in my PC. Okay. So here's the process now, and I'm going to come back here. Here's the process of what I go through when I'm going to grade something. First of all, I have a little bit of a luxury working at a card shop. My guy Adam, Frankenstein's Cards on Instagram, he is the guy, what we call our grader guy. He looks at our cards for the shop that they're going to send away for grading. So if it's something, especially on my higher end cards, like that Soto that I pulled from Stadium Club Chrome, I took it to him. And I have him take a look at it. He has a better eye than I do for it. So I will absolutely take stuff to him. He will give me his opinion in terms of what company to send it to, what he thinks the grade will be. And he's pretty much spot on almost every time in terms of it. Like my Dominguez, that triple auto refractor that I pulled from Bowman Sterling, he said this should get PSA 10. The autos may come back 9, but the card looks great. Send it to PSA. And I did. Came back PSA 10. Exactly what I expected. So Adam's real good like that. So, and once again, I go to him. I don't overload him with every card I'm going to send in. I do a lot of it on my own. But on my higher end ones, I definitely defer to his opinion in terms of what he thinks of the cards that I'm going to send in. Okay. So once I do that, I go through, and once again, each company is going to charge different prices to get graded. PSA and Beckett both, as of right now, and this is as of December 10th, 2021, are not accepting any of their bulk or economy or any of their cheap service levels because they got inundated with so many cards during the pandemic. PSA shut down in, I'm going to turn my TV off here. They shut down here in, it was April of this year. And then Beckett shut down in May, and they haven't opened up their lower service levels yet. So right now, the cheapest price to send in a card to get graded per card is roughly about $125 to $150 at the lowest per card. So that's detracting a lot of people, obviously, from sending in stuff that's not going to be worth it. CSG, on the other hand, is accepting bulk submissions at $18 a card with a 50 card minimum. I'm sending cards in at $20 a card in their economy level, and I'm getting them back in about 2 months. This came from an economy that got scanned in about October the 11th. So right at about 2 months, I got these back from them. So it's a great turnaround time. SGC is right at about the same time, and I think they're just at a flat $30 a card, period. So it just depends on your tolerance. If you're wanting to go with these companies, once again, it's a personal choice. Once again, we talked a lot about CSG. CSG is relatively newer to the sports card scene. They're about 1.5 years old when it comes to grading sports cards. They hired Beckett's top grader away when they decided to start doing sports cards. Now, the extra note for this, is that CSG is not new to grading collectibles at all. CSG has many different divisions. They do currency, they do comic books. They're viewed as the PSA for comic books. If you have a comic book you want to get graded, it goes to CSG's parent company that handles specifically comic book grading. They have a lineage and a pedigree that is very, very good. They are very well respected. One of the reasons why I decided to go to them for my grading for my personal collection. They're very tough on sports cards. Once again, if you've seen my videos here in the past, I've only gotten 110 for a card grade from them out of all the subs I've done. I've got a bunch of 9.5s, and it's tough. But that's what I want out of my cards, especially if I'm going to hold them long term for maybe in a potential eventual resell. I want to be able to get my investment in on them. So where PSA has been getting a lot of flack in recent months on their grading, CSG's been consistent. They've been tough. I value and trust the grades on the cards that I get. I'm very happy with them. Once again, I'm not shooting for 10 or bust. 9.5s and PSA, there's another thing, and this is not something that's specifically card grading. This is kind of next level grading, but PSA normally does what's called crossover. So I could send one of these slabs to them and they would put it in their own slab with their own equivalent grade to go with it. So there's a theory out there that, CSG 9.5s could end up being PSA 10s, and it matters a lot right now in the resale market. CSG cards are nowhere near as getting as much a return comparative to PSA cards. That's because they're newer. I believe the market will change and that will fix itself over time. I hope I'm right with that. But we will see. The market will make that determination in the long run. But I know a lot of people that are subbing to CSG and a lot of people that are happy on that. So that's the process. So once I choose what company I'm going with, or if you want to choose what company you're going with, the next step is I clean my cards. Now, when I mean clean them, I don't put any kind of chemicals or any liquids or anything on them that would damage them. Literally what I do is I have microfiber cloths and I wipe the surfaces down front and back. Because once again, they're looking for surfaces. Microfiber cloths will not damage your surfaces on your cards. I've never had that problem since I've been cleaning my own cards. I'm very light and I'm very gentle with it, but it can make a difference in terms of your surface grading. So I do that. I do all of that, and then I do all the research I need to on my cards, names, card numbers, what I feel the estimated value of them is. I use PSA 9 for my declared value because you have to declare the value of the cards because the value in some cases may determine what the actual price per card is that you're going to pay to get graded. A lot of the companies, if they're running all of their service levels, your value of what your declared value is going to determine what service level it goes. So be mindful of that if you're going to send in your own submissions. If you're sending in through another grader or someone else, they know what they're doing. They'll handle it from there. Obviously, they've done it before. The next step is I put all of my cards in penny sleeves. And if you want penny sleeves, you can go to your local LCS and get them. I'm going to show you guys these next. And then I put them in these. They're semi-rigid card holders. Most of the companies require that they come in these semi-rigid card holders. It's just an easy way for them to access them that's not a top loader. They hold up well to be able to prevent bending and all those good things that we want top loaders to do. But I put them in there, and then I go online and fill out my forms. I ship them away, and then I watch the websites like a hawk as they go through grading, and then I get them back, and here we are for what you guys see normally just in my basic reveal videos, okay? So, having said that, we're going to just breeze through these real quick, and then we'll wrap it up this week. If anybody has any questions about grading or anything like that, leave a comment on the video. And if you want to talk more in depth, an email address, I can reach out to you, or you can email me, brandon.toll@zebrabreaks.com, to be able to reach out, and I'll be more than happy to answer any kind of supplemental questions you may have on grading. I'm just wanted to give a big just kind of an overview of the process, the companies, what's looked for, that sort of thing. How do you go about doing it? Just to kind of, share the information that I've learned from whether it's just my time in the hobby, being in the shop, anything like that, just to be able to pass on. So having said that, here we go. This is like 22 or 23 cards from CSG that I literally got back tonight. Put them in my sleeves to go in my case when I'm done with this. So we're going to start with the Trey Sermon. This is from just a few football cards that I have. This is from Donruss this year. This is my auto to 299, and we got a CSG 9. So you can see here, it says the name 2021 Donruss for the series. It says the rookie's autograph, the card number, and the player. So Trey Sermon, I'm taking a bet. I hope he does. Hopes he finishes out the season well with San Francisco. So, all right. Next up, this is going to be a Bichette from 2020 Bowman Sterling, a rookie. And there you go. CSG 9.5 on my Bichette. Perfect. It's a rookie. That's what I want to keep. So, all right. This is my Lou Bob from 2020 Bowman Sterling rookie. And we got a 9. I'm perfectly up. Once again, I shoot for 9s. 9s are better. You know, that's where I'm going for. So, all right, this is a big boy. This I got at the shop. I found in a box as I was going through some cards a few months ago. This is a Shohei Ohtani rookie from Allen and Ginter, 2018. Boom. CSG 9. Love it. Love it. For just happened to find this card randomly in the midst of a bunch of other cards I was going through. I bought it. It looked good. I ran through the centering, everything I did. Perfect. CSG 9. Love it. All right. So this is from 2021 Finest. This is my Christian Pache. Gold numbered to 50 that we pulled out of Finest earlier this year. And we got a 9. Now you can see because it's a parallel, there's the gold refractor designation with it. It says rookie design variation as well. So Christian Pache, 9. All right. So here we go. We're into some Reds land here. And I guess we'll start it since it's showing auto. This is my Jonathan India first Bowman auto that I got a few months ago. So you can see I got a grade and auto of a 10. And there we go. 9. CSG 9, auto 10 on 2018 Bowman Draft, Chrome Auto, Jonathan India. Phenomenal. Exactly what I was hoping for. All right. Let's see here. Joey Votto. So I have a few Vottos in here. I think this is my Kmart gold parallel that I got. Nope. This is the National Baseball Card Day one, and it got an 8.5. All right, it's an 8.5. You know, it's a near mint to mint. They grade tough, so if in theory I could, you know, if I ever cross this over, maybe we get a PSA 9 with them. Who knows? I don't know if I want to take that leap based on crossover pricing potentially, but it's an 8.5. It's still in good shape. Votto cards are hard to come by. Obviously, it's 2008. So, all right. So we got another Votto here. We got a Votto rookie. This is the Upper Deck Votto rookie that I have, and it got an 8. Once again, it's just hard to find cards like this that aren't already graded, that are 10, that are just obscenely expensive. So for me, Votto's a forever hold. I'm okay with an 8. I think 8 will hold up over time. So Upper Deck 8. All right. This was just a random Witt Jr. I forget where I got this. This is his first Chrome. And this got a... Oof. All right. Got a 5. For a card to get a 5 nowadays... I mean, the corners would all have to be busted, and it very well could be. I just might not have looked at this right, or something may have happened in trans with it. So, rough to say the least. I still don't have a good grade on this type of a card. I'm still looking for it for my collection. I may just have to buy the card outright graded and just cut the BS on the ungraded. So, moving on. All right, we got another auto. This is from Pro Debut this year, Luis Angel Acuna. We saw that here on the channel. It's got an auto 10. And we got a 9.5. Perfect. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s little brother, Luis Angel Acuna. 9.510. Perfect. All right, we'll go with the other auto just because the grade's sitting there. This is my Heston Kjerstad gold to 50. This is the draft pick card. Now, with this, they used the old, thicker card, like almost like the Heritage card stock cardboard, and not the new type that you saw with that Luis Angel Acuna. So we got 10. We got an 8.5. Okay, this is gold to 50. There's still value in this as a gold to 850. I'm sorry, gold to 50 at an 8.5. I'm absolutely okay with that. This could cross over and very easily become a 910 from PSA. Absolutely. So I'm okay with that. All right, here we go. So we've got a couple of Castellanos. Let's see. These are BCP. So these are Bowman Chrome. First Bowmans of Nick Castellanos. I'm a big fan of his. I'm on board with him. We got a 9 on one. And a 9.5 on the other. Perfect. Exactly what I was wanting. All right, so this is going to be my Votto Kmart Gold that I got. Very lucky. It got an 8.5. Okay. All right, so that could cross over to a 9, theoretically. So 8.5, okay. These are absolutely hard to come by. These, like, I think are about $100 just for the card ungraded on the open market. I got it in a trade, so all right with that. So this is Castellanos base rookie from Topps, and it got an 8. All right, I took a gamble on this one. I picked it up loose at the shop. I was sitting in a couple of bargain boxes, so I took the gamble on it. I'm cool with that. That was just a bonus for me. So this is another Christian Pache card. This is 2020, and this is going to be a prospect card for him, and it's a speckle refractor to 99, I think. And we got a 9. Perfect. Yep, and it's to 99, 33 and 99. And there we go. Speckle refractor, Christian Pache. I'm holding a few of his for this year. I think he's got some upside. All right, Xander Bogaerts. This is his base rookie. We got an 8.5. All right, I'm okay with that. You know, once again, there's a couple that I'm willing to take a gamble on at $20 a card. I'm cool with it. So Xander Bogaerts, base rookie from 2014 Topps, got an 8.5. All right. One more football. Joe Burrow. This is from Donruss this year. This is the gold press proof image variation of him wearing a mask to 50. 8.5. And I'll tell you most likely what it is. It's the foil surface. The foil surface was because this is a gold foil and not like a gold where the card's gold. So I'm willing to bet that the majority of the grade this got nailed down on was on the foil surface. And I was just taking a gamble on it. So, but it's Burrow and I'm keeping it. This is Jesse Winker, Topps Gallery Artist Proof Rookie, 9.5. Perfect. Awesome. All right. We got a Trey Turner. This is a Trey Turner first Bowman. Yep, you can see for a draft pick. Bowman, and we got a 9. All right. And then last but not least here, we got a Trevor Lawrence rated rookie, also from Donruss. I pulled it. I'm keeping it. I think Trevor is the real deal. And we got, oh, look at that, a 9.5. So that could easily, if I wanted to cross over, it could have a shot of becoming a PSA 10 and crossover. There are some of these that I am genuinely considering doing that with if crossover reopens and the price is right on it. So, but Trevor Lawrence rated rookie, 9.5, base rookie from it, perfect. So there you go, guys. So that shows you my last little run with CSG in terms of cards. Some hits, some misses. It's a chance you take. It's an imperfect science. Grading is imperfect in terms of that it is done by a human, but I like it. It's the way I want to take my PC for the most part, so that's what I'm going to do. So that, guys, that does it. About a half hour, went over some grading here. Let me know what you think. Did this help? Did this change your opinion of grading? Are you going to decide to start getting cards graded for your collection? I am considering doing grading if people want to submit stuff into CSG. I'm willing to do that. Brandon.toll@zebrabreaks.com. Talk about it more. I definitely am more than one to send them in. I've got more coming back. I have one order of PSA from March that's still out there that's coming back. I'm going to send more away as we go along in time. Actually, last thing here, and I'll show you what's coming up. The one I'm going to be sending out probably this week. My Soto Auto from Stadium Club Chrome is already packaged up and getting ready to go. But my next one that's going to go to CSG is going to have these. We got a Burrow Orange Reactive Rookie, Asa Lacy, base Bowman Sterling 2021 auto. I found some Anthony Volpe's first Bowmans in a box a couple weeks ago. So there's 2 Mojos and a paper base. I got to keep these in order for my sheet. I've got The Future is Bright from 2018 update, Acuna and Albies. I really like this card. And then we got, oh, hey, I like that. We got a pink Shohei from 2020, pink refractor. We've got a rookie, 2018 gold label rookie, class 1. And then I had a gold to 2021 from this year that's going to go in because I think Shohei's the real deal. And then this was given to me at the shop. I have very little Griffey Jr. as a red. They very much split between him as a Mariner and a red. So piece of the game used bat from Upper Deck. Griffey Jr. from SP Game Bat Edition from years ago. That's going because that's staying with me. Jonathan India. This is from the Holiday Mega Box this year. Base rookie. I bought some of these. My first Jamar Chase, and you can see once again it's this gold foil surfacing, man. That's just going to be hard to grade. But it's press proof Jamar Chase, rated rookie from the Bengals. Kelenic rookie from the holiday box. From a silver pack, a 2019 update that I got, Vlad Jr. Mojo, 83. Kelenic from Stadium Club. Jonathan India short print from update series. Brian Hayes black gold insert from update series. Kelenic 86 from update series. A base Jonathan India, a base Kelenic, and then I had a Mojo 86 Kelenic I pulled out of a silver pack that's going. So that's just kind of give you the next thing that's going out, stuff that I just want to add to my collection. A couple of the guys that I think are the real deal rookies. I mean, I could be wrong. If I am, okay. You know, I'm making the best choice I can. So that does it, guys, here for the video this week. I appreciate everyone's time as always. Time is the most important thing we have, but I also want to take advantage of the opportunity to share the knowledge that I have and the knowledge that I learned and just pass it on. We're all one hobby community here, guys. So comments, questions, concerns, leave them down below. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And that'll do it for this week, guys. I'll see you next Friday right here on the channel, 5 East, 4 Central. Last but not least, I got 3 spots left in my big mixer break, guys. $49 a spot. 1 pick your team, 1 random team, covering 3 hobby boxes, 2 blasters of 2021 Bowman, and 2 holiday mega boxes, guys. So let's get those spots filled so I can be back here on the channel sooner rather than later, ripping live for everyone. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next Friday here on the channel. Round of third and heading for home. Have a great weekend, everybody.